could beat you.
When you sign to fight me, it's a celebration. You ring back home, you ring your wife. Baby, we done it. We're rich, baby. Conor McGregor made us rich. Break out the red panties. We're rich, baby. So don't say you would not take that fight, because you would take that fight like everyone else up here would take the fight against me if it was offered, regardless of belts or any of that shit.
Yeah.
It's red panty night when you sign to fight me, yeah? Back at home with your wife. It's a celebration.
Conor has no right coming up to 55. There's no way he's not going to stand a chance. We're too big for him. We're too strong. So you can take your little English ass and get on.
You're too slow and too stiff.
Welcome to Kyle Anthony's UFC betting show. I am Kyle Anthony, and welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the early betting strategy for Conor McGregor versus Donald Cerrone. We're going to talk about the odds. We're going to break them down stylistically, just kind of an overview, and a little bit quickly go over some of their past fights. But most importantly, are we looking to get some exposure early on for this fight? Do we like the odds? Is it warrant a bet? And do we feel it's a strong position to place our money? As well as, is this red panty night for bettors? Is this a great spot? Conor McGregor always says, hey, facing me is red panty night. You're going to make some money. Is this a great spot to place money on this fight? So we're going to talk all about that. So the first thing we're going to really be talking about here is we're going to talk about the odds. Now, you've got the odds currently. You've got McGregor, who is a minus 215. You've got Cowboy, who is currently at a plus 174. Now, for me here, looking at it very quickly, I thought the odds would be higher. You know, I really thought that McGregor would be at a minus 350, minus a 340 range, somewhere in there right away when this fight was announced. So to hear that it's a little over a 2-1 favorite, I already am interested and intrigued what's kind of going on. Maybe want to dive into this right away, see if I want to get some exposure, get a little bit of money down way early on this fight to kind of see what I want to do. But before I did that, I always got to do my homework, look back, research. You know, your mind someplace plays tricks on you when you see a fight and you haven't seen it in a while. So it's always good to go back and again, piece together the, you know, something that the opponent can then possibly expose, and seeing that if it works out, that this is going to work in their favor when they step into the cage. So obviously with those odds here, you got minus 215 plus 174 for Cowboy, and I think right off the bat, I think that the market has really pushed this to be closer odds off of a couple different things. And I think the first thing that you're really going to be looking at is it's going to be the Khabib effect. What happened against Khabib, how dominating Khabib was against Conor has definitely pushed these odds down. I think that's something that very different of a fight. You know, you've got Cowboy, who is not going to be a guy that's going to be looking for those takedowns, although some people are saying, hey, could he be? You know, could this be something that he could expose Conor in? I don't think so. Cowboy has been such a kind of a fighter where he likes to be the fan favorite, which I think also is a reason why he got this fight, is he's a fan favorite. But he's going to look to stand and trade. He's not going to look to do the takedowns. I even bet you, actually, leading up to this fight week, the coming weeks, more of that conversation is going to be going on. People are going to ask that question. Hey, do you think, you know, Conor's got questionable cardio issues, questionable, you know, takedown defense and ground game? Is that something? And I will bet you that the whole time, I think Cerrone's going to be saying, people want to see a brawl. We want a brawl. I want to knock this guy out. I want to shut up Conor. He's going to go into that route. So I don't believe that takedowns are going to be anywhere in effect here. Of course, if somebody gets dropped, it goes to the ground, but I don't think you're going to be seeing a big push for Cerrone to really be looking for those takedowns. Also, I think Conor McGregor has probably really elevated that takedown defense, although, you know, against Khabib. Didn't really show it against Khabib, but Khabib was one of the best. But I really think that he's really kind of fixed that, in my opinion. Hard to tell, but I really believe that he has fixed that. So also, again, Cerrone not, you know, being a fan favorite, not looking to take that easy way out. Not like an easy way, because it's not like it just can happen, but I think he's going to be really shooting for those big shots up top, leg kicks, you know, his body kicks, really using his kickboxing, I think is going to be in this. But when you take a look again, and getting back to what I'm talking about, when you take a look again, really at this, is I think that the Khabib beating that took place has really pushed these odds down. Also, that I think it's going to push the odds down also is the layoff. I mean, you've got, last time he fought was against Khabib a little over a year ago. He hasn't won a fight since November of 2016. So there's a lot that goes up against him. Fought in boxing, trained in boxing for a very long time for the Mayweather fight. $100 million he was able to get from that fight. Has had kids. A lot of things are going on there, which also made me place a very large bet on Khabib when Conor came back. And that was a big thing for me there, was a lot has changed for him. That hunger, that desire is all now on Khabib. It's not really on Conor. Conor, always is going to be a mixed martial artist and all of these things, and a world champion, a elite striker. But when, you're not really sharpening your tools, that's when a guy who is hungrier in Khabib, looking to maul you, looking to really take advantage of some of those weaknesses in your game, that was just a bad matchup for Conor. Here, I think stylistically, with that being said of the layoffs, stylistically, I do like this matchup for Conor. I think that this is a good fight for him. I think that overall, I think that it's going to be, it's going to be a kickboxing fight. He's got his power left hand. Everybody knows about that. But I think the footwork is also going to be something that's going to be intriguing on this fight as well. Is that, Cowboy is not one to, he's very light-footed, but he's not one to really circle as much or really, look for those angles where somebody like Conor, who works a combination from the outside and looks to bounce in and bounce back out, I think really works out a lot more well for him overall. But you take a look on the other side, that something with Cerrone that I don't like also is he's really able to give his opponent space. And he's done this throughout, where he kind of has that lackadaisical style where he's moving forward. And you've got somebody like Conor who maybe has those cardio issues, but this space that I think Cerrone is going to give him is going to give opportunities for Conor to not have to really exert too much energy. So he'll be able to work those combinations from the outside, but be able to not have to overly exhaust himself. Somebody like Khabib, who is able to smother you, get on top, you're constantly working, you're constantly grappling. That's going to be something that I don't think he's going to really have a problem here. And going from the fact that it's he hasn't fought in a while to right away to a 5-round fight, a lot has put questions too. I don't think that's going to be an issue. Again, I don't see that being an issue because you're not going to have that pressure, that smotheredness over you for round after round after round that you're going to be getting from a Khabib, or somebody's really going to be in your face, where Conor's going to be able to have that time. He's going to be off. Even like Diaz. Nate Diaz, when he fought Conor, was in his face. And if you remember, Conor was almost had his hands on his hips, circling, and you just continually see Nate Diaz moving forward. So those are things that I think this is a great matchup for him because of those facts that he's going to have that time. You've got somebody like, Cerrone, who does have, some great, I guess it's, mixing up with the kicks. And the way he's able to angle those kicks, I think, are great. But he's not very rangy when it comes to standing and striking with his hands, with punching. He's not very rangy. He kind of is in-close kind of guy. And I think, again, that works more favorable for Conor McGregor. He is very rangy. He is very long. He punches, and it's almost like, and I always use her as an example, as Amanda Nunes, where people are able to, Nunes has a long reach, but she is able to fully extend her arm and still have power. A lot of guys like to be in close, kind of those big hooks, in tight, and depending their kind of striking, and Conor is able to literally have his hand fully extended and able to still have that power. That's something that I think he can really take into this fight, is that he's able to do that against a guy who doesn't have those, doesn't have that range when it comes to the punching. Also, the knockout that was recently from Cerrone. Cerrone is a guy that's tough to finish, and to go out there and to get obliterated by Gaethje. Now, you take Gaethje versus Conor McGregor overall, and that was a fight I was really, really praying would be the fight that would happen. So for Conor to not take the Gaethje fight, which is obviously a tougher fight, without a doubt, nothing completely bad to say against Cowboy, but Gaethje is just really hitting in all strides at this point. He's a scary guy to fight with the leg kicks, and now he's showing how much power he's got up top, and he's durable, moves forward. It's just a bad matchup for Conor overall. So for him to go in here and take Cowboy, I think makes more sense, but Gaethje doesn't have the technical skills that Conor McGregor does. So if he's able to go in there and land some big shots, striking, standing, again, I lean more towards Conor McGregor there. I just don't see that there's much opportunity where if they're going to be circling and standing and just standing and striking toe-to-toe, I give most of that to Conor McGregor overall. Now, the only thing that I would say that if you're looking at Cowboy is that he's going to have better clinch. Inside, he's going to be very good with the clinch, great with his elbows, dirty boxing, but, I don't really see a lot of that happening. I think that Conor is going to be smart. He's going to try to stay on the outside. I don't really think that's going to be really affecting him overall. So for me at this point here, with that all being said, I think the odds is warranting a bet here. I like Conor McGregor at minus 215. I think those odds are actually going to be creeping up a little bit. I think that you're going to see some of the public it's Conor McGregor, and they're going to take him. Now, I depending where that line goes, I could see some money going on Cerrone. If you're talking about Conor starts to get up to the 350, minus 350 range, you could get a nice price on Donald. But right now, I think this is a great price for Conor McGregor. I think this is a spot where also they're going to be looking. This is a match where, of course, I'm a big storyline kind of guy and where they want things to go. And obviously, it's a fight. Anybody can win. But I'm big into that. And I think this was a fight that was really tailor-made for Conor to come back, get this victory. They're already talking about him, that if he fights and gets his victory, possibly Masvidal, and then looking at possibly Diaz as another fight, looking at some of those, and then as well as the end of the year looking to fight Khabib in Russia. So I think that they knew that they know that there's so much money to be made here. Not that Cowboy is some slouch, but I think this is a great fight stylistically for Conor. I think Conor has been training very much so for this fight, for him in general. I think this was something that was decided a while ago by Conor, and you've had Cowboy fight a couple times since the first time that they really started talking, maybe a fight or two ago, about, hey, maybe Cowboy's the guy to fight. So him losing him getting knocked out, I think Conor sees blood in the water. I think this is a great spot. So for me here, it's out. This fight's out for a while. It's going to be tough to get a lot of money down on this fight so far out. But if you can, there's ways sometimes to do that. You can. But I am definitely looking at betting Conor McGregor right now, getting as much as I can down on him on this line. I mean, I'm even seeing minus 200. I think it started out at minus 200. There was 205. It went to minus 215. So it's slightly creeping up. I'm sure that you're going to be seeing some of that fluctuation. But right now at a plus 2-to-1 favorite. At a 2-to-1 favorite. I like to take the money on Conor McGregor here. So let me know what you guys think. Take a look, overall on some of the things that you guys are when you're looking at past fights. I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say about it, what you guys are thinking. But for me right now, as an early bet, I am taking Conor McGregor to defeat Donald Cowboy Cerrone. If you have not yet done so, definitely hit the subscribe button. Appreciate everybody who comments down below. Let me know your thoughts, and we will have another video. We do our videos every Thursday of every fight week, and also our bet review show out on Sunday, Monday, somewhere in there as well on our fight week. So we've had a little bit of some time off here because some smaller cards, not the greatest cards kind of going on, but December 14th, UFC 245. I've got some massive plays, really a great card, a lot of spots to make some money, so excited to talk about that one next. Definitely subscribe, and this is Kyle Anthony's UFC Betting Show, and I'll see you next time.